countries have again committed to strengthening disaster responses as the effects of climate change continue to intensify. A two-day meeting has been concluded in Durban. eNCA senior reporter Dasen Thathiah was there.
The fourth meeting of the BRICS ministers on disaster management has concluded with the signing of the eThekwini declaration. Now, one of the prominent themes over the past 2 days has been about building back better and also about the recovery post-COVID-19. Now, I want to bring in the COGTA Minister, Thembisile Nkadimeng, who joins me now. Minister, this is an important moment, not just for our country, but also the other member countries. In practical terms, and with eThekwini in particular being, I guess, for lack of a better term, being the perfect place for this declaration to be signed, what does this mean for us as South Africa?
Well, thank you very much. I think one of the greatest lessons for the fourth round meeting of ministers of disaster in the BRICS is to ensure that, as you said, we build back better. One, identification and planning therefore becomes central on how you get infrastructure that is strong, that is resilient. Of course, in building back, it means we need to ensure that we build appropriately, using climate strength methods, which to ensure that the resilience is more enhanced. And in most instances, eThekwini being an example, it means the relocation of people. There's quite a number of people who are on wetlands, but there's quite a number, as you know, both the Pacific Ocean will be pushing backward, or rather frontward in the response of how the ocean and the climatic conditions are. It means more climate change education to our communities, for them, one, to adapt to the climatic condition better, to be more preventative in nature, but also to be agile in response to early warning system that our South African Weather Services periodically gives and notifies us in terms of disasters that we may be prone to.
Minister, I just want to touch on this quickly. How much of an impact does the coordination, or perhaps a lack of coordination between the different spheres of government play in hindering or in improving the response to disasters? We've seen in the past that there have been complaints about that and not necessarily having that cohesion. How much do you think needs to be done on that front to improve that?
I think we're relatively better when it comes to disaster management. Our National Disaster Management Center is operational fully, so an all provincial disaster management center, and they are joint operations. That is why when there's fire, you are able to even see the Western Cape responding in Northwest by dispatching its fire people. We just need to ensure that we twin in the plans, because in my presentation you might have captured that the South African Weather Services is now assisting us to be able to separate between winter and summer. The prone disaster areas are known well now, and you are able to anticipate what are the weather patterns globally which could infect our country. The response rate needs to be coordinated. But Department of Human Settlements even has a modernized policy now, which has been enhanced, for example, where people are could be able to build back. We now no longer even wait for a building of a house. We supply material so that you could be able to bring in labor, build the own house that you love as well. Your effort in assisting government to repair the state of what you have been to find yourself out. Initially, we will put you in a beneficiary waiting list. So we are responsive in trying to improve the agility.
Appreciate your time. Thank you so much. That was the COGTA Minister, Thembisile Nkadimeng. They're just discussing what had come out of this particular conference. And now the point of this is for the member countries to go back to their respective regions and take what they've learned here and apply it, but also to share their own experiences to ensure that there is a quicker and more efficient response to disaster risk reduction. I'm Dasen Thathiah in Durban.